Hello, everybody. I guess it's time to start talking about guns. What do you think about the museum?
Good.
It's nice, isn't it? You know, we had the best historian in the country, Bud Jones. I mean, do you know of anybody else that mounted a dinosaur? That was Bud Jones. It's out front. But he did a good job. We're going to talk about some of these old guns today. Probably the oldest one I have is this about a 1803 Springfield military gun. And it was issued, federal issue, and they kept them and used them in the Civil War. That's when they cut them off, because up till then they thought you had to have a 6-foot barrel. But there's more progress made during the Civil War on guns than any other time in history. Here's another Civil War gun. It's a double-barrel shotgun that the cavalry used. This is a half of a horse bit. They made a saddle ring out of it. The cavalry they used shotguns instead of rifles. This is a Civil War gun. This is Confederate. See how crooked. I mean, this was made at a blacksmith shop in Charleston, South Carolina. That's probably the reason we lost the Civil War. One of the reasons. We didn't have equipment. Didn't have the equipment. And right here's a Colt. When the war started, Colt couldn't sell to the South anymore. This was shipped to Louisiana 9 days before the Civil War started. So it's a Confederate gun. There was 50 in the shipment. There's the factory letter on it when it was shipped.
What caliber is that?
This is a 44.
44.
1860 Armory.
Wouldn't want to shoot a Magnum, 44 Magnum in that, I don't think.
I wouldn't think so. You know, there's more progress made during the Civil War on gun making than any other time in history. They went from flintlock to cartridge gun. I have this is a cowboy gun. It's got 4 cattle brands etched in the grips. I guess when the old cowboy worked at a different ranch, he used to. It's a 44-40. 44-40 has been the most popular caliber in America for about 64 years. And this, because they made rifles and pistols. There's a rifle in 44-40. That rifle was given to the New Aces Kid. He was a Texas Ranger. It's got to the New Aces Kid December the 25th, 1891. He got it for Christmas. And this is the holster that the old cowboy carried this one in. You know, in the movies, the cowboy life's pretty romantic, but in real life, they wasn't. They had a hard life. In 1900, the average life of a cowboy was 31 years, and the average weight was 130 pounds. And this is another cowboy gun. That was a Civil War, 1860 Army, and they converted it to 44 Colt. The real Wild West era was from 1860 to 1888, and this is about what they had, about the best they had back then. This gun belonged to Billy Breckinridge. He was a deputy when they had the gunfight at the Old Corral, and later he went to work for the Southern Pacific Railroad. And it's got his name on it. They gave that to him in 1908. And this is his story. Eldorado, that's about his life.
What's his name again?
William Breckinridge. Here's a gun that's pretty important to Tallapoosa. In 1931, Henry Pope was a policeman, city marshal, and he arrested this boy, carried him to jail, and his uncle and aunt came to get him out of jail, and he wouldn't let him out. And the woman shot him, and he killed her with this gun. And then her husband came in with a gun, and he killed him. And they carried Henry on to Aniston, and he died that night. But they've got this story out there, the clipping and his report. He lived long enough to fill out the report.
What caliber was that?
This one, 38. The gun was made in 1902. Smith & Wesson 38. This gun is a 30-30 Winchester, made in 1930. It belonged to Hank Williams Sr., a musician. Hank Jr. left the antique armory in Chattanooga self soon. I've had it about 40 years. But I've always been fascinated by the old guns. I guess a gun, I guess I'm considered a gun nut. Yeah, a gun dealer is somebody that looks at guns when he trades. And a gun collector looks at them when he goes in the den. But a gun nut thinks of guns all the time.